good to see you all in July. July now, so we've got another 3 weeks left. Cheers. I've got three weeks left of the summer term. So you all saw the dates last week. Should be on the emails as well. That's the date. I'm making it an art trail special today. So on Saturday I'll start my bit of Lee Art Trail, my work up in Millie's Deli, 90 Lee Road. I'm going to be there the 2 Saturdays, so if anybody wants to drop by and have a chat, do that 2 Saturdays. Yep.
Well, just to let you know, Isha, who comes to this art group, she's her picture here, she's in it, but she's in the living room at 191 Lee Road.
Oh, right, yeah.
Probably down the other end.
Yeah.
Only on Saturday and Sunday for the weekend. So,
Great.
a little late.
Brilliant. Yeah. So part of the exhibition there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Excellent.
yes.
Yeah, it's a really nice trail, good community feel. There's lots of events on around the trail, as well as the artists showing their work. So we've got the maps. You can get these from any of the venues, and I've got some here if anybody would like one. We've got the map on the back, and that tells you I'm way out here, out on the outskirts, as usual. So I'm in Millie's Deli up there. But there's lots of different things going on. One of the ones that I'm involved in is on the Sunday, we're having a plein air painting drawing session, and that will be at in Alderley, basically. So we're going to meet up by the cricket billet around about 11 o'clock. So if you fancy coming along, do a little bit of painting, bring your sketchbook, bring your paints, or just pencils, whatever you fancy doing. And it's just like, well, we put 11 o'clock till 12:30, but it can be longer if you want, if you can last long, get it in the heat. So yeah, that's what I've sort of mentioned there. Southend Plein Air and Lee Art Trail. So that's that. I'll have my work up. I usually manage to fit about 30 paintings in Millie's. We also have, each year we have an auction so each of the artists donate something, either a piece of work or a service or something like that. So these little paintings here I'm donating to the auction, and there's no reserve on them. Sometimes I've ended up taking them home because nobody's wanted to not have one bid. And then at other times they've got to several hundred, which is been nice. I think last year mine went for a couple of hundred, which was nice. So it can be anyway, but if anybody wants to put a bid, that's the little painting I'm giving away. That's the secret auction cards. Basically fill one of those in, stick it at the back of there, and I'll put it with all the other ones. Trail. That'll go on my venue, and then at the end of the week, we take all the boxes in and they sort it out, whoever's won the bid. So that's that little painting goes there, that stays. Yeah, the cards, I thought I'd bring some cards in. So I used to get these printed up, but I don't sell many cards these days. So the little gallery that I used to show my work at, it closed down at the weekend, unfortunately. They're a really good gallery, but they wanted me to do more cards. So I started buying in card stock and just printing them myself. And they managed to sell loads of cards for me. So since then I've just been printing my own, just print a few at a time. And I was just doing them over the weekend. I thought, well, I might as well bring them in here, because I remember particularly one of my students in the afternoon class, really wanted to, bring some cards in. So if anybody wants any cards, they're £2.50 each or £5 for £10. So yeah, and it's either cash or you can do the direct transfer. Don't have any cards.
Or do a runner.
Do a runner, yeah. Not with it. Run out from your box. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the art trail. The theme really for this month is summer, really. So however you want to interpret that. I've got a few, for me I just think of beaches as being the summer for me, but however, it could be nice summer gardens or summer still lives or nice cool drinks and ice creams. I don't know, however you want to interpret summer. So if you fancy doing something along the summer theme, that'll be the next couple of weeks. I was thinking I haven't really done much with people and figures for a while. And this photo's, that's my son and one of my friend's daughters from 20 odd years ago. He's now bearded and long hair and very different looking. I always kind of quite fancied using that photo, I never have. So I thought I'd just do a very quick drawing demo, if you want to watch a very quick drawing demo. I'm going to use her actually, because I can't actually see a lot of his head, so it might be easier to use her. So figure drawing is something, I really enjoy having people in paintings. So figure drawing is something that I've always been into. I've done these sort of demos many times. Let's just pick a colour that you can actually see. So sometimes it's useful to just start off with a few guidelines. So I'm thinking like Eden's head would be about there. Try and imagine where her neck would be, and then through to her shoulder, perhaps there. And then her arm pretty much follows that sort of line, doesn't it? It's almost like a line of action that way and that one that way, perhaps. And perhaps her arm there. So it's, to start with, I just try and get a feel for roughly where things are going to be. And it's very much how I tend to start most subjects. And then I can see a lot of the front of her leg, but her thigh is sort of disappeared there somewhere. So that's a little bit of structure. Now the middle of the features is right on this edge here. You know, I can just about see an eye there. Her ear is, so her eye level is something like that down there. And if I follow that through, that would be more or less the level of the top of her ear. So I'm mostly seeing the top of her head. And then perhaps go in with a bit more definition then. So that would be the front of the forehead, her eyes there, a little bit of a nose there, the front of her cheek would be about there, and then chin there, top of her ear. Again, there's quite a lot of foreshortening in this sort of photo. So I think the top of her ear will be there, perhaps the inside of the ear there. And then just kind of following her hairline. Something like that. And then working my way down, I think you can see that the top of her knee is there. And if I dropped a line down there, that would, her knee is further back than her forehead. So sometimes add a few more lines in as you go. So that's going to come in here somewhere. Perhaps work a little bit over here. So the back of her neck, again, looking at where that cuts in, that would be about here. So actually a little bit higher than I've got it. I think it's about there. The back of the neck would be the back of the vest. A bit like that. And then you can see about that much of a t-shirt or vest. And then follow that through for her arm. If you wanted to just check your proportions, you could think of how big is her head from the top of her, maybe from there to there. So that'd be that. And if you compare that with, say, maybe the bottom of the hairline, or maybe the length of her arm. So actually the length of her arm from here is about that. So that's about right. So that would be the end of her arm there. And then the crease of her forearm here. A lot of foreshortening in here. So it's just getting a shape. And her wrist is more or less level with here. So that's in some ways quite a challenge. And what it really comes down to is just seeing shapes and comparing one shape to another, and just trying to sort of align where these different shapes are. Can't see the whole of her hand, but I'm guessing it's going to be about here. I can see a couple of fingers across there, and a thumb. And then her spade, she's doing a bit of digging, so in a way that's integral to the pose. I would draw that as I'm going, I think. Pop that in there. That's the general direction. Could have done that in red perhaps. That comes in here. And maybe work a little bit further down here. So this gap from here to here, I want to be careful I don't make that too big. At the moment that's looking quite wide. Just check that. maybe perhaps to about there. Actually, the top of the thigh, top of the leggings, and then that shape is curving in there. Something like that. And then the other leg would be in here, so it's just getting that a little bit of a shape. Working a little bit inside out, and then a feet coming out under here. So that's kind of how I would go about drawing figures. That is a little bit of a complication. How challenging that was all the full children. But yeah, it's basically sort of looking at structure, looking at shapes, looking at how big one bit is to another. I can measure that, just check it, you know, my distances down there. But actually, maybe I made that too squashed. I think there's a bit more room actually. Looking there. 1.5. Let's check. Maybe not too far out. Probably only touch depth of there. It would be too difficult, too different. It's sort of picking something and then just relating that to the other areas. So if you fancy doing anything with figure things, that might be no. Stick to sunset and clouds. Is there anything in particular that you'd like me to, so within this sort of theme of summer, like the next couple of weeks, anything else you'd like me to cover? Have a ponder, if there is. Good to go? Right. Okay.